It's all fun and games, it seems, until the illegal immigrants get in the way of certain people making money. Well, I've been saying it, no, I've been shouting it from the rooftops to anyone who would listen. And for anyone who has been watching my channel for any length of time, you will know I have called out the immigration situation currently going on all over Western Europe, particularly here in Ireland and in the UK, as a total and utter scam. It is a racket. It is nothing more than a money-making racket now for certain individuals, for certain people and certain companies and businesses to make a tidy fortune. It's not about virtue anymore. It's not about people fleeing war anymore. No, it has morphed into a complete and utter scam, aided and abetted, indeed facilitated by our governments. The very people who are charged with protecting us, protecting our borders, safeguarding our society. They have decided that's all old hat, that's all old fashioned. We don't need to do that anymore. What we really want is more GDP. And how can we get it quick and easy? Just open the gates, open the doors, and let everybody and anyone flood in. Papers or no papers, we don't care, we'll take you all. Well, of course, the entrepreneurial types, the people who have money, the people who have properties, the people who can buy properties, are now making a fortune out of this, because people flood in, there's nowhere to put them. They go to the government office, they sign a thing, they give a name, could be their name, could be somebody else's name, could be a name they made up. Nobody really cares, and they're put in to all kinds of facilities, everywhere and anywhere, all around the country. And it's the taxpayer who's footing the bill. The hotels now are full. Guest houses are full. The government is now converting paint factories, warehouses, anything that's got a roof and four walls can be designated, can be changed, can be repurposed into an IPAS centre. Yes, an illegal immigrant centre, and that's what they are. They're illegal immigrants, and the vast majority of them are not fleeing war or persecution. They're just economic migrants who know how weak our governments are and how hungry and delighted certain business interests are to have them come here, because it's money, money, money. Your money is all that's money. To hell with society. Who cares if it gets more rough? Who cares if more crime happens? Who cares if there's more rapes? Who cares if women can't even walk out day or night without getting accosted, leered at, and worse, far worse? They don't care. There's money to be made, and the government thinks it's a good way to get GDP up. But what happens when our new to the parish illegal guests run afoul of the people trying to make a few bob? Well, as soon as the illegal immigrants start to get in the way of progress, well, they can basically go and themselves. Take the case of this very expensive property on Ormond Quay in the centre of Dublin city centre. It's currently up for sale, as you can see. This is a substantial building, and it's right in the heart of Dublin, overlooking the Liffey, worth an absolute fortune to whoever owns it. But there's a problem. It is reported that up to 50 illegal new to the parish type people decided they liked the look of it, and that the views of the Liffey were exactly what they needed to acclimatise themselves to Dublin and to Ireland and the Irish in general. So they just moved in. Yes, squatted in old money. Well, of course, this caused a great deal of dismay and consternation to the people who owned the property, because, well, it's kind of hard to sell it on to someone else when it's just chock full of illegal immigrants. Because we all know illegal immigrants in current day Ireland and the UK are the holy grail. They're the people who are sacred. You can't touch them, you couldn't go near them, you can't say a bad word about them. These poor, terribly put upon people. They deserve our sympathy, our empathy, and everything else, it seems. But that's all fine and dandy. What if you're a moneyed person and you have a very expensive property that you want to move on to another person with money? Well, that's when the new to the parish guests start to become something of an inconvenience, something of a pain in the ass, you might say. So, of course, the owners went to the courts and went legal and got themselves all kinds of court orders and eviction orders and, well, you could probably understand what happened next. Absolutely nothing. New to the parish type people don't really give a damn about court orders. They don't give a damn about the law. They don't give a damn about the country they're in. They probably didn't even give a damn about the country they came from. But what to do? Yes, ignorance is bliss until it comes up against people with lots of money. And then things start to get interesting. Well, the landlord, not getting much purchase out of this legalese paperwork that they had, decided to go a different route. They sent in a bunch of lads to sort the problem out. Well, as you can see, the men were trying to gain access to the property and there was some resistance. At first, people actually thought that the men trying to get access inside were trying to break in. But the people inside were the tenants or the rightful owners. They called the guards. As you can see, these lads weren't messing around. They were on a mission. Some resistance there from the new to the parish guests. Seems like they didn't really want to give up their nice views of the Liffey prominent property accommodation. All rent-free, of course. Well, they'd expect no less. Yes, no regard for property, obviously. Windows broken, smashed. I'm sure the inside was pretty as a picture. Objects being thrown, fire extinguishers. Absolutely no regard whatsoever for property. The people inside, the illegal immigrants, they have no respect for court orders, eviction orders, property rights. They've come here expecting everything to be handed to them on a plate just because they're here. I'm not sure what health and safety would think about all of this. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, that's all fine and well, but how did it all end? Well, it ended like this.
Stop! Stop!
Fucking fascist! You fucking fascist! You fucking fascist! Fuck fascist! Fuck you, fascist! Fucking stop! Fuck you, fascist! Fucking fascist! Fuck fascist! Fuck you, fascist! Fucking stop! Fuck you!
Yes, as you can see, the situation was resolved. I think it's 1-0 to the landlord there. But here's the problem. If these individuals who have no regard for property, no regard for anyone's property or property rights or court orders or legal system or even the police, if they show up and squat in a property you might own, maybe a shed or barn, or maybe they camp on your field or something, you are on your own. The state will do nothing for you. You can go to solicitors, you can get court orders, you can get eviction orders, it doesn't matter. These people are above all that. And they know they, as immigrants, as asylum seekers, as whatever nouveau name the government puts on them these days, they know they've got all the apparatus of the state behind them free, whilst you have to pay for everything. You want to send a solicitor's letter, you've got to pay for it. They can just get an NGO to do all their work. So they have nothing to lose. And a lot of the places they come from are lawless, practically. And even if there's laws there, they don't obey them anyway. So they're hardly going to obey any laws that we have. So, more and more, I think we're going to see this. We're going to see a clashing of these two worlds as one force meets an equal and opposite force. What will the outcome be? I don't know. But I think, based on seeing this, it's going to get ugly.